Hello aspirants. Looking at current affairs for 23rd Feb. The news items picked up from the Hindu newspaper are these 9. We'll look at them in detail. The first one, Canada-India red-faced over invite to Khalistan activists. So Canada-India relations continuing. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is on a visit to India, and presently in this visit, the delegation which has come with him, they attended events in Mumbai as such. So here it has been seen that also in Delhi, so event was held in Mumbai, also a reception was held at Canadian High Commission in Delhi. It has been seen that a Khalistan activist and a convicted terrorist was part of this delegation and has attended these events. His name is Jaspal Atwal. So this has embarrassed the Canadian and the Indian government as well. So this Mr. Jaspal Atwal, he is an Indian origin businessman and former member of banned International Sikh Youth Federation. And this banned organization is thought to be responsible for the Kanishka bombing, the 1985 Air India flight, which was bombed mid-air, which resulted in 329 people dead. So this was the Babbar Khalsa and this International Sikh Youth Federation who are said to be responsible for this Kanishka bombing, and Jaspal Atwal was a member of this organization. So this is there, not just this, but Jaspal Atwal is also convicted for shooting a Punjab minister, Malkait Singh Sidhu, in 1986 when he was on a private visit to Canada. So he admitted in parole too that he was the shooter on that day, Jaspal Atwal. So actually this conviction has been overturned later, but still this you can see is the case. So Mr. Jaspal Atwal being member of this delegation which has come with Mr. Trudeau is a problem. So the invitation is called a mistake as such by the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. He says that it had been sent by a member of the Canadian Parliament as such, the invitation to him. And also Minister of External Affairs is looking into how Indian High Commission in Canada issued a visa to Mr. Atwal as such. So this is there. So these are the details provided regarding him to Mr. Jaspal Atwal, what we just discussed, involved in Kanishka bombing and in the shooting. And this is regarding the Kanishka bombing. So this was an incident which took place in 1985 and is considered Sikh extremism. So in retaliation to Operation Blue Star as such. So this was Air India flight from Canada via London to New Delhi, and here it was bombed mid-air. 320 and people, mostly Canadians of Indian origin, were killed. Then next is 2 benches refer land acquisition case to CJI. So this is what we had discussed yesterday, to a 3-judge bench calling another 3-judge bench judgment, overruling another 3-judge bench as against judicial discipline. So that was a land acquisition case. So a 3-judge bench ruling of 2014 was overturned and called as an error in law, as wrong according to law, by a 3-judge bench now. And the new bench here presently had called this verdict wrong. Justice Curran's bench had called it wrong, saying that this goes against judicial discipline. If you want to overturn a verdict of a bench of a Supreme Court, it should be done by a larger number bench. So a constitutional 5-judge constitutional bench should have been established, but that was not done. So this is what has been pointed out, and that is why 2 separate Supreme Court benches led by Arun Mishra and A.K. Goyal here have referred certain land acquisition cases so far heard by them to the Chief Justice of India, Mr. Deepak Mishra. So he will take the final call now on how these cases should be adjudicated. So this is regarding that. Then next is CRPF to guard Indian Embassy in Baghdad. So this is regarding Central Reserve Police Force. So Central Reserve Police Force for the first time has been sent to secure an Indian mission, an Indian embassy in Baghdad here in this case. So they will provide security. So this is the Ministry of Home Affairs sending them on the request made by Ministry of External Affairs. So the embassy as such in 2014 had issued an advisory asking Indians living in Iraq to leave the country because of the precarious security situation. There is an armed conflict going on with the terrorist outfit Islamic State in Iraq. So now CRPF has agreed in principle to provide 45 personnel here to provide security to the Indian embassy. So you should know about CRPF. It is one of the security agencies. It's part of GS3 in mains, specifically mentioned in the syllabus. So CRPF came into existence before independence as CRPF was stood for Crown Representatives Police. So it was established in 1939. Then after independence, through an act, it has come into effect as Central Reserve Police Force. It functions under the Ministry of Home Affairs. It assists the states and union territories in police operations to maintain law and order and for counter-insurgency. So it assists states and union territories. So that is the CRPF's role. It also plays a role during general elections. It is considered India's largest paramilitary force as such too. For the first time now, it will be sent to provide security to an embassy of India abroad. Then next is CBI busts global child porn group on WhatsApp. So CBI has smashed an international child pornography racket which was being run for the last 2 years through WhatsApp group. It had 119 members from 18 different countries. So the group administrator has been arrested here. So you can see members from Pakistan, Afghanistan, China, US, Mexico, Brazil, etc., Middle East were part of this group. Then next is 6 lakh Indian children died in their first month in 2016. So this is UNICEF report which has said that India is 12th among 52 low middle income countries and having highest infant mortality rates. So India's infant mortality rates are very high. Over 6 lakh children died within the first month of their birth in 2016. So this is there. So you should know that the infant mortality rate, the term as such, means death within 1 year of birth, and neonatal mortality rate here means death within 1 month of birth. So neonatal mortality rate here you can see recorded by India is 25.4 deaths per 1,000 live births. So overall 6 lakh deaths children have died in the year 2016. So India's ranking is 12th. Also, this is the first time that UNICEF has come out with rankings based on newborn mortality rate. So babies born in Japan, Iceland, Singapore have best chances of survival, while newborns in Pakistan, Central African Republic, Africa have the worst chances of survival. So India has actually reduced its under 5 mortality rate. So here we have achieved progress, but in neonatal mortality rate, the numbers are quite high. We are ranked below Sri Lanka. This is the ranking for the countries shown. Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal and Bhutan too. So here you can see India's rank is 12th. So other countries do much better. So here you can see under 5 mortality rate, even the Millennium Development Goals target are being nearly achieved now. So there has been 66% reduction in under 5 deaths from 1990 to 2015 in India. So this has been an impressive progress, but in case of neonatal mortality, within first month of birth, the rates are quite high. So this is given here. So neonatal mortality rate infant dying within first 4 weeks or up to 28 days, means around a month of life. So that is the early neonatal is for 7 days of life. Death taking place within first 7 days of life. And infant mortality rate is infant dying under 1 year of age. And that is taken per 1,000 live births in all 3 cases. The next is biometric data in state hubs destroyed, UIDAI. So this is the Aadhaar case going on in the Supreme Court. Here the UIDAI chief has asked that the statement be made in the Supreme Court that on the instructions that as such biometric data which has been stored in state resident data hubs have been destroyed. So means actually under the Aadhaar Act of 2016 biometric cannot be stored by state level authorities. So that is why this is there so that leakages do not take place. So now biometrics will be stored only in Aadhaar central database or the central ID repository and not in state databases. So this has been stated as such in the Supreme Court. So petitioners in this case are also arguing that Aadhaar Act as such has been challenged by them, and government has made March 31 as a deadline for all Aadhaar linking being made mandatory, and they are asking the Supreme Court to extend this deadline because the Supreme Court is still hearing the validity of Aadhaar Act as such. So hearing is still taking place. Then next is NIA to charge sheet former Pakistan diplomat. So National Investigation Agency, which looks into terrorism related cases, is likely to file a charge sheet against former Pakistan diplomat who was working at Pakistan High Commission in Colombo, Amir Zubair Siddiqui. So he is named in a conspiracy to attack vital establishments in India. So it was Muhammad Zakir Hussain who has been arrested by the CID and the Tamil Nadu police as such in 2013. He had given specific information that he was indulging in spying activities as an agent of Pakistan, and he had been contacted, he was maintaining contact with Amir Zubair Siddiqui, who was in the High Commission in Colombo. So that is why now this person, the former Pakistan diplomat, will also likely be named in the charge sheet and arrested. So action would be initiated. So this is there. So he admitted to interrogators, Zakir Hussain, that he was acting on the behest of Mr. Siddiqui, as such, a Pakistan consulate official in Colombo, Sri Lanka. Then next is RBI norms may delay Jio's bank plan. So this is Reliance Jio. It was planning to unveil its payments bank, but we'll have to wait now because RBI has given its order that KYC process, know your customer process, has to be done not by telecom firms but by a third party entity, because they are not part, telecom firms are not part of the reporting entities in Prevention of Money Laundering Act. So know your customer process cannot, KYC process cannot be taken up by them. They have to do it through third parties. So of course it will result in further cost for them. So this is there. So RBI says that we cannot rely on KYC done by telecom companies. So this actually is going to affect not just Reliance Jio but other telecom companies too, like Bharti Airtel, Idea Cellular, Vodafone, because they also have their payment banks. So Reliance Jio was planning to unveil its payments bank. So it is along with India's largest lender, that is SBI. So eKYC, as such should be done by Aadhaar is what it was emphasizing on, but now it will have to have an independent know your customer norms done through a third party. Bharti Airtel has already unveiled its payments bank in November 2016. So here the payments bank's license was given. As such, payment banks have been given differentiated license by RBI, and these are the 11 payment banks allowed. You can see Vodafone, M-Pesa, Reliance Industries, all are named here. Aditya Birla, Idea, owns Idea, Airtel. So these payment banks means banks which are going to function as taking a demand deposit maximum up to ₹1 lakh. They will not be providing loans and they will not be having any term deposits as such too. Means fixed deposits or term deposits, and also deposits raised by them will have to be invested in government bonds, and a maximum of 25% which should be invested, can be invested in an account with another bank. So these are payment banks. So basically it means that they can provide particular specific services. So differentiated license means they will not be functioning as full-fledged banks but as providing limited services. So services charges as such will come down because of the payment banks being established. Also the requirement of minimum balance as such will not be applied by them. So that will be a benefit for the consumers. So this low cost basic accounts will be possible to be established. So the way we have these e-wallets, so payment banks can function on those lines. That's why we see many telecom companies have also entered into the foray. So this is regarding payment banks. Then the last news item is DOT's plan to spur synergy among 7 PSUs. So this is regarding Department of Telecom coming out with its plan, a strategic plan to enable 7 state-owned companies, public sector companies, to work closely. It's not talking of a merger, but working closely to provide greater operational synergy. So these 7 state-owned companies, of which Department of Telecom is speaking, are MTNL, BSNL, Indian Telephone Industries, Center for Development of Telematics, Telecommunication Consultants of India, Testing and Certification, Telecom Equipments, and BBNL, BharatNet. So all these 7 public sector companies would be working together. There is no plan of merger, like there is no plan of even BSNL and MTNL merging as such for now. But synergy means they will be better at managing their manpower, settlement of legal issues among them, and also utilization of vacant spaces. So there is more manpower in some and less manpower in other. So this operational synergies would be achieved. This plan has been announced. They should also refrain from going to courts against one another is one aspect which has been emphasized on by Department of Telecommunications, so that there can be resolution of disputes amongst themselves done through even DOT itself. So this is there. So this will help them in better accommodating newer technologies too, like 5G technology, Internet of Things, etc. So this is the. So these are the news items. Thank you.